Credit cards. Some say in this day and age, they're a necessary evil. But guys, things are getting out of hand. Outstanding credit card balances are now over $1 trillion, the highest they've ever been. And interest rates are now in what CNBC describes as loan shark territory, with the average interest rate for new card offers now at 24% according to LendingTree. It's got me thinking, there's gotta be another way for people to efficiently borrow money when they need it at a much lower interest rate and still have the convenience and cashback rewards of a credit card. Well, it seems there actually is. So a company called Aven contacted me asking me to do a review of their product, the Aven card. And the more I looked at it, the more interested I got. Not only does it offer unlimited 2% cashback on everything, it takes as little as 15 minutes to sign up for. It has interest rates of between 7.99 and 15.49%. That's half the national average. And it offers credit limits of up to $250,000. And how can they do all this? Well, it hinges on one thing. I'll explain when we get inside. You see, since the pandemic, house prices in the US have exploded, rising from an average sales price of $374,000 in 2020 to $550,000 this year. This means that many American homeowners are sitting on a large amount of home equity that was just created in the last few years. And don't worry, your house doesn't have to be a 2,400 square foot lake house with balconies, a games room, a fire pit, a hot tub, and a private boat dock. Now guys, I know I got carried away with the visuals, but actually you don't need some amazing house. Even my own primary residence, which is very ordinary, has risen in value by $130,000 since 2019. At its heart, Aven believes there is a better way of giving you access to capital than unsecured lending, since unsecured lending, like traditional credit cards, is risky for the bank, so you end up getting a really high interest rate. They instead want to find responsible borrowers who are homeowners and give them an interest rate of about half what they would get on a credit card by securing the debt with their property. That's what secured lending is, backing up a debt with an asset, combined with good quality income verification and underwriting. It's a bit cold out here. Let's get inside. So you may have heard of a home equity line of credit where you get given a credit line based upon how much equity you have in your home. So for example, let's say you bought a house for $300,000 a few years back and you have a mortgage for 80% of the value of the home. We call that loan to value, or LTV. So this would be 80% LTV. That's $240,000 in the mortgage that you're paying off every month. And then there's $60,000 in equity left over, which is the part of the home that you actually fully own yourself. You don't owe any money to the bank for that part. Now let's say that the value of your home has increased up to $400,000 over a few years, which is not unrealistic for the period of time that we are living in. Well, guess what? Now you've got $160,000 worth of equity in your home. Actually, probably even more than that, since you would have paid off some of the mortgage in that time, but we'll keep the example simple. A home equity line of credit, or HELOC, taps that extra equity, giving you a credit line you can draw upon. Typically, they are interest only for the first 10 years, and then you have to start paying it back. But they take a lot of effort to get approved for, usually requiring trips to the bank, an appraiser coming to inspect your home, and thousands in upfront fees. The typical HELOC takes 2 to 6 weeks and has closing costs. Well, Aven has taken that whole process, and using technology, they've simplified it into a 15-minute application that doesn't affect your credit score unless you accept their offer. And it's free, there are no closing costs, and the product you receive is in the form of a credit card, not just a line of credit. So it's like a credit card in the front and a HELOC in the back. Aven cards offer limits as low as $5,000 all the way up to $250,000 depending on the value of your home. You can spend on your credit card, which has no annual fee, enjoy 2% cashback on all your purchases, and an interest rate of just over 10% if you carry a balance, which is half the national average rate at the moment. In fact, Aven is so sure that their interest rate is the lowest of any US credit card, they'll even give you $25 if you find another credit card with a lower rate. But then in addition to swiping the card, you can withdraw actual cash to your bank account for a 2.5% fee plus the interest rate if you carry a balance month to month, which means you could use the Aven card for paying off high interest debt and consolidating all of your other credit card debt onto the Aven card at a much lower interest rate. Or you could just use it for things like home improvement projects or anything else you might use a HELOC for. And these features have all made Aven the fastest growing credit card for homeowners. But what about the safety of your house? I mean, you're putting up possibly your biggest asset as collateral. Well, Aven aren't in the business of trying to take people's homes away. They make their money on the interest rate they charge you when you borrow money from them. They verify your income and verify your ability to pay them back. You're most likely to qualify with a FICO score over 700. Aven's default rates are 10 times lower than unsecured credit cards. What they are looking for are responsible borrowers who aren't going to take any gambles with this money. Like literally, you can't gamble. It won't let you make any purchases in a casino.
What happened?
I wanted to put $50,000 on black, but it wouldn't let me. So Aven made it as safe as possible, but like with any financial product, you do need to be a responsible borrower on your end. Now guys, I am really impressed with this product. As a credit card, it holds up. The cashback rate is 2%, which matches the cashback rate on many so-called non-category or catch-all credit cards on the market these days. So there's no opportunity cost in using it, and you get a way lower interest rate if you choose to carry a balance too. Then as a HELOC, i.e. withdrawing money to your account, its rates are competitive with other HELOCs on the market right now, which are around 9 to 10%. And obviously the biggest selling point is going to be convenience. It's a 15-minute application versus something that could take weeks and may have closing costs. In all my years of reviewing credit cards, I've honestly never seen a card quite like this. I would say for a responsible homeowner, this card is a no-brainer to have in your wallet. There's no annual fee, so it doesn't cost you anything to keep, but it gives you an interest rate half that of the average credit card if you do need to swipe it to cover a sudden expense like an unexpected medical bill or a car repair, while still earning 2% cashback. Then you could also use the HELOC option to draw some funds to your bank account for a much larger project like a home renovation, which could increase the value of your house, or starting a business, or anything else that you would typically use a HELOC for. It's a really unique addition to any homeowner's financial toolkit. And for homeowners who are interested, I will put a link to the Aven card below. Otherwise, guys, do give us a like for the YouTube algorithm and leave your comments about this product below. What do you think about it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Oh, my Airbnb checkout time is just about up. What, you didn't think this was my house, did you? The car's mine.